was.
Yes, Mark, thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We will, of course, bring you all the updates coming out of the Russia-Ukraine conflict as we get them, and we will bring them to you. We now move over to the Middle East for our next story, where the Israeli military has warned it will operate with unprecedented force in Gaza City, urging residents to flee south. This comes as it announced the closure of the Salah al-Din road, a temporary evacuation route that had been opened just 48 hours earlier. In a post on X, the military's Arabic language spokesman, Al-Rashid Street, said the road is now closed for southbound travel and warned that operations against Hamas and other groups will intensify. However, Al-Rashid later stated that sections of the Salah al-Din street would remain open for a few more hours today, allowing civilians a limited window to escape. He shared a map showing designated areas for displacement, noting the route would stay open until 12 p.m. local time. Meanwhile, traffic has come to a near standstill on the parallel Al-Rashid Street as thousands continue fleeing the city. In a security cabinet meeting, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu blamed Jordan for the deadly attack at the Allenby Crossing carried out by a Jordanian aid truck driver. He demanded stricter inspections and metal detectors for all incoming trucks, saying it was Jordan's responsibility to prevent the attack. Netanyahu emphasised that Al-Rashid Street is now the only route south and urged remaining residents to take this chance to move to the designated humanitarian area. Okay, we're now joined by Ross Feingold, and he is a political analyst, and he joins us live from Taipei in Taiwan. Thank you very much for joining us, Ross. First of all, it's a pleasure to have you as always. Let's start, Ross, with the statements that have come from Israel's defense minister. It says that Israel is going to operate with unprecedented force here. How does this escalation alter the regional dynamics of this conflict, and what can we expect from this ground assault?
Looking at this from the political perspective, it's clear that, as has been the case for most of the nearly 2 years of the war, that Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu, they're going to conduct the war as they see fit, and it doesn't matter to them what kind of international criticism. I mean, obviously, international criticism has been mounting in recent months, and including in recent days with the UN report, for example, and countries willing to recognize Palestine at the upcoming UN meeting. But that does not have any effect on the decision-making of Netanyahu or the instructions that he issues to the military, or that the defense minister, who you just cited, issues to the military. So countries in the region, you asked about that, they're going to complain, they're going to publicly criticize Israel, of course, and some of them will do so very vociferously, but that will not change what's coming up in the next few days, which is obviously that the Israeli military is going to fight their way into Gaza City. And, as far as what's going to happen on the ground, obviously this is going to be a vicious battle within an urban setting. Israel has a far more powerful military than Hamas, but Hamas is not defeated. And there's going to be a lot of Hamas fighters who are ultimately killed, but unfortunately there are going to be a lot of civilians who die as well, especially if they don't evacuate.
Yeah, indeed, Ross. And let's move on now to the situation with Jordan. Netanyahu's publicly blamed them, a rare partner under Israel's peace treaties. What does this say about the regional stability here in after this situation, which happened just a day ago?
Certainly throughout the course of the war, as the humanitarian situation in Gaza has worsened, Jordan has been more vociferous in its criticisms of Israel, and now the Israeli side is returning that by being vociferous in its criticisms of Jordan. Ultimately, again, this is like the situation with other countries. Jordan and the king could criticize Israel using strong language, but it will not change how Israel conducts operations in the coming days around Gaza City. But the thing to watch here is how does it affect cooperation with bringing aid into Gaza? It has to be trucked in from from the border, and that's just something to watch. We know that at times in recent months, Israel has been listening to the international criticism about the food situation, and Israel has been more willing to allow in a larger amount of aid, and Jordan is certainly an important participant in that process. So it's definitely something to watch in coming days, how this actually affects the flow of aid into Gaza.
Yes, Ross Feingold, do stay with us. We have